Marty here with you. I hope you're having a safe and productive week out there. I went up north to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania for a conference, when was that? Week before last. It was really informative, and it's always good getting to see, your peers and attending all the classes and sessions. This was quite a large gathering. I believe it was upwards of like 2,000 attendees, and I started thinking about all the logistics works that went on behind the scenes to pull something like this together and make it happen. I myself have probably attended, 30 or 40 conventions over my career and actually had a hand in 8 to 10 of them, with some degree of responsibility. It's a lot of work. So with all that on my mind, I thought that we'd talk a little bit about what logistics is and what it means, as well as a few of the positions and opportunities that segment of our industry can bring to us. You know how much I love definitions, so let's start off with one. I went to dictionary.com and it stated, the planning, implementation, and coordination of the details of a business or other operation. In every dictionary that I checked out, it also listed it as the branch of the military science and operations dealing with the procurement, supply, and maintenance of equipment, with the movement, evacuation, and hospitalization of personnel, with the provision of facilities and services, and with related matters. In many ways, I like this definition better. Logistics involves so much, so many tasks, and I like how the military is so inclusive and includes purchasing, supply, moving those products around, and all the planning and services involved in making something happen. In our operations world, I like to think of it as everything from making the item to getting it to the end user or us, the consumer. I checked out wikipedia.org as well. And it states, logistics is generally the detailed organization of implementation of a complex operation. In a general business sense, logistics is the management of the flow of things between the point of origin and the point of consumption in order to meet requirements of customers or corporations. The resources managed in logistics can include physical items such as food, materials, animals, equipment, even liquids, as well as intangible items such as time and information. The logistics of physical items usually involves the integration of information flow, materials handling, production, packaging, inventory, transportation, warehousing, and even security. Logistics management, that's the part of the supply chain that manages the plans, implements, and controls the efficient, effective forwarding of goods and even the reverse flow and storage of goods. A professional working in the field of logistics management is called a logistician. That sounds kind of funny, but that's actually how you pronounce it. I went a little deeper back into Merriam-Webster.com. And it defined this position or title as a specialist in logistics. That didn't tell us so much, so I checked with the www.bls.gov. It's the Business and Financial Department of Labor in their Bureau of Labor Statistics, which states the position as logisticians analyze and coordinate an organization's supply chain, the system that moves a product from supplier to the consumer. They manage the entire life cycle of a product, which includes how a product is acquired, allocated, and delivered. I've known several ladies and gentlemen that's transferred from the warehouse and transportation departments into a segment of the logistics fields. Routing within transportation, the mapping out or planning the routes for our delivery trucks is a great first step into the field, and on the inbound side, even scheduling, the pickups and the delivery of the product for merchandising is another fabulous position that can be a good entry point. I'm sure your company's logistic department really works closely with your procurement department for the purchasing of goods, weighing out the loads and the cubes of the trailers, arranging freight cost, and all those delivery appointments, along with any necessary financial components of the loads. There's a lot of opportunities for us warehousemen and transportation associates in the field of logistics. I went and checked out internationalstudent.com, study transportation and logistics careers. And don't worry about, writing down all these URLs that I'm giving you today. I'll include them in the show notes on our website. But I found a really great article there that lists 8 careers in transportation and logistics. Graduating with a degree in transportation and logistics will leave you with no shortage of career paths. As I stated earlier, our experiences and skills learned, throughout our working career can earn us the knowledge to succeed also. Not only are logistics utilized by a wide variety of institutions, really everything from global corporations to city governments, the warehousing, transportation, and logistics industry is made up of many different parts that perform very different functions. Let's discuss just 8 of the possible careers that you could pursue with a degree in transportation and logistics. You have the analyst, the logistics engineer, consultants, customer service, purchasing managers, international logistics managers, inventory manager, supply chain manager, and there's several others that's really good career choices also. I won't go through each one of these and define all the positions, but I would like to talk about a couple of them real quick. The analyst is probably the most common entry-level logistics position. Analysts are responsible for gathering and analyzing data to look for any kind of problems within the chain. Our routing experiences will mean a lot in these positions. Good math and computer skills are generally going to be required for these positions. And, we'll need to be able to thrive in a team setting. That's going to be very important also as analysts. Analysts are expected to recommend solutions to their supervisors. Although it is a entry-level position, an analyst's task that really becomes more varied and complex as we accumulate that experience. Logistics engineer, that's another really good one. A successful analyst might find himself, moving on to being a logistics engineer. Engineers evaluate the supply chain and the logistics systems for trends or problems, using computer systems and, of course, mathematics. Our experience with WMS or warehouse maintenance systems and that knowledge of using them as order selectors or even inventory control can be very beneficial to us as logistics engineers. Oh, here's another good one, customer service. With all the customer service that we've learned dealing with customers as a delivery driver, I'd pretty much call us pros at customer service. Whether acting as a sales team or managing existing clients, customer service acts as a intermediary between clients and the rest of our logistics team. A client's needs and concerns really has to be relayed to engineers or managers. Likewise, if there's a problem of part of our supply chain logistics, the problem and its solution has got to be communicated to the client. Therefore, a knowledge of logistics offers both clients and customer service representatives a much greater grasp of the situation. And as with many other positions, successful customer service eventually is going to lead to a management position that's responsible for establishing procedures for the entire customer service team. Let's talk a little bit about purchasing manager. I've known no less than 20 or 25 warehousemen that's moved into purchasing or merchandising departments. Not every company that employs logistics professionals will necessarily employ a purchasing manager, though. Carriers such as UPS, FedEx, and USPS, for instance, distribute goods or products that are ready to be sold, or possibly even have already been sold. Manufacturers, however, must acquire resources and materials and have them delivered for, their production. Purchasing managers find materials suppliers across the world, sign them into contracts, and manage relationships. They must also be ready to communicate with inventory and warehouse managers to coordinate the delivery of all those materials. Oh, and I'll bring up International Logistics Manager. While international logistics managers aren't responsible for actually acquiring materials, they are responsible for maintaining those relationships with international partners. International logistics requires us to really keep up with the ever-changing international customs, laws, and all those regulations that go along with it. Such managers often start off working as importer-exporters and are expected to really work closely with manufacturing, marketing, and purchasing to build and manage, those supply chains. Knowledge of both logistics and international businesses are going to be, really essential to successful international logistics manager. These are some awesome positions for those individuals that really enjoy traveling. I have a friend that's actually living in Taiwan right now, and he loves his job. We used to drive forklifts together back in the early 90s. He went the merchandising route, and I followed my path on into management. Oh, and let's just talk real briefly about supply chain manager. If transportation and logistics is the study of our distribution systems, you might expect the supply chain manager to be the king of all managers. That's not quite true, but they are very important. Supply chain managers oversee the entire supply chain, including purchasing, warehousing, inventory, even the production, and seek to really streamline the system in order to reduce cost and optimize productivity. A little more from wikipedia.org on logistics activities and the different fields is inbound logistics and outbound logistics. I won't go into all 19 of those different departments, but you should really check them out if you have an interest in the field. It's really a good read. There are two fundamentally different forms of logistics. One optimizes a steady flow of material through a network of transport links and storage nodes, while the other coordinates a sequence of resources to carry out some type of project, maybe like restructuring a warehouse. A depot or deposit is a standard type of warehouse, and that's for storing merchandise, kind of what they call high level of inventory. Distribution centers are for the order processing and the order fulfillment, and they refer to that as low level of inventory, and also for receiving the returning items from clients. I found another really good article at www.camcode.com. It was What is Warehouse Logistics? Challenges, Benefits, and Best Practices. And it's a really current article. It was last updated on June 28th of 2018, and it was posted by Nicole Pontus. It really does a good job of walking us through all the steps from sourcing the raw goods to, them reaching the end user or reaching us. Again, I think logistics is a great field for us if we really enjoy learning, and we enjoy a good, strong challenge to get us out of bed each day. It can be a really rewarding career too, financially and opportunity-wise. Well, I hope I was able to explain logistics a bit. It sounds really complicated, but it's just the purchasing a product, moving it to storage, and on to distribution centers for holding, selecting of orders, and the final delivery to be used or consumed. All this is warehousing and all of its ordering systems, and transportation and its movement and tracking system. And that's really what logistics is. I want to thank you for listening in today, and be sure to check our show notes for those links. There's some really good reading in there. Until next week, work safe, think safe, and let's look over our planning and career goals. Are you on track to reach your goals?